Good day. The state television company of Western Armenia represents all the most important events of these days. Today's broadcast. The European Parliament adopted a resolution on the destruction of cultural heritage in Artsakh. The US law draft requires a report on the possibility of a military operation against Artsakh. The price of 1,700-year-old church put up for sale in Western Armenia has decreased. There is no other way out. I have appealed to all parliaments of the world. Chairman of the National Assembly of Artsakh. The holy place of the Alevians in Western Armenia turned into a mosque. Tomorrow is the birthday of Egishe Charents, outstanding sons of Western Armenia, Tigran, Chukhajian. The European Parliament discussed and adopted a resolution on the destruction of cultural heritage in Artsakh by 635 votes in favor, 2 against, and 42 abstentions. The European Parliament notes that after the last war, 1,457 monuments, mostly Armenian, come under the control of Azerbaijan. During the war, Azerbaijan caused significant damage to the Armenian historical, cultural, and religious heritage. In particular, the church of St. Agatangeghos in Shushi was subjected to rocket fire. The European Parliament condemns Azerbaijan's policy of eliminating the Armenian cultural heritage in and around Artsakh and denying its existence, which contradicts international laws. The European Parliament considers this to be the policy of Azerbaijan's anti-Armenianism. Now we are going to present the speech made by the President of Western Armenia, Abrahamian. I accept the strict condemnation of the European Parliament of the Azerbaijan's xenophobic policy towards the Armenians of Artsakh and our many thousands of cultural heritage and express gratitude for this. However, I would like to point out to you and to the members of the Parliament that the territory of Artsakh has always been an integral part of the Republic of Armenia, recognized by the Allied powers including France in 1920, and therefore the question of seeking a new status for this region is an unjust one in terms of the international law. The occupational division of the territories of the 1920 Republic of Armenia, Yerevan, Artsakh, and Javakh by the Soviet power has always been distributed by the Armenian authorities until today. Azerbaijan's claim to Artsakh has been the subject not only of several wars but also of the massive destruction of Armenian populations. I would like to point out that it is not fair to present the Armenian population of Artsakh as a minority, knowing very well and easily demonstrated that this population is a majority and moreover is indigenous on its territory for several thousand years of existence, recognized by the United Nations on September 13, 2007, in relation to the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, in relation to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People. The Comprehensive Appropriations Law draft passed by the U.S. House of Representatives requires a report on the likelihood of military operations against Artsakh. This was reported for the Armenian Assembly of America. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed a bill on the Comprehensive Appropriations, which calls for allocating at least $45 million for Armenia and $2 million for humanitarian demining in Artsakh. The Armenian Assembly of America reported, "We call for constant vigilance to hold Azerbaijan accountable for its prolonged attacks on the Armenian people," said Madam Hakobian, Director of Congressional Relations at the Congress. The owner has reduced the price of 1,700-year-old church for sale in the city of Mardin in Western Armenia by 40% after not finding a buyer. The discounted price is 4.5 million liras. Inside the church there are 3 caves, 2 tunnels, and a baptismal hall. The church adopted many religions, first serving as a temple for pagans, then as a synagogue for Jews and a church for Christians. The building, which is in its final form, remained a church, was later used as a carpentry workshop and warehouse. I have appealed to all the parliaments of the world, translating them into several languages, to recognize the independence of the Republic of Artsakh, because there is no other way out, Chairman of the National Assembly of Artsakh, Artur Thomasyan, said at a meeting, adding that they have repeatedly appealed to the Republic of Armenia to recognize the independence of Artsakh, at least at the level of National Assembly. We want to remind you that the enemy has been using weapons for several days. Artsakh is currently deprived of gas supply, since the Azerbaijan armed forces do not allow repairing the damaged gas pipeline, which is under its control. The tomb of Shah Calendar is a holy place for Alevians in occupied Western Armenia. The building in Ankara was turned into a mosque by the decision of the government. According to the information, only the leader of Muslim region can pray here, and the real owners of the building cannot participate in any ritual. Murtaza Demir, the founding president of the Alevi Cultural Association, said that the state had confiscated the shrine, adding that they would file a lawsuit against the occupier for religious affairs and other relevant authorities. We want to remind you that a similar act of violence took place against Armenian churches and holy places built in the old regions of Western Armenia, but anyway, the perpetrators remained unpunished. Egishe Charents, Yerevan Soghomonian, was born on March 13, 1897 in Kars, Western Armenia. Since 1921, the literal surname of Charents has become a civil surname for him. In 1915, the 6th Armenian Volunteer Detachment crossed Mount Paris to the northeast of Lake Van to join the Russian army fighting the Turks. The fire of patriotism burned in his eyes. This soldier orator was the future great poet Egishe Charents. The poem The Dancing Mist, which is this first response to the Armenian literature to the World War of 1914 and 1918, is one of the first written references to the genocide of Armenian people. In the brutal years of the cult of personality, from the 1913s, persecution began. Charents could not avoid this, and he was arrested soon. Charents' books were collected in libraries. Egishe Charents died in the Yerevan prison hospital on November 7, 1937. Tigran Chukhajian, born in 1837 in the family of the royal watchmaker Georg in Constantinople, at the age of 15 to 16, attracted the attention of the musical community with his piano performances. The composer, conductor, founder of the Armenian National Opera, was one of the first Armenian composers with higher musical education who wanted to live and work in Western Armenia. In 1872, Chukhajian initiated the creation of the Armenian Musical Theatre, which would later be renamed the Armenian Turkish Operetta Theatre. Chukhajian's works combine the elements of Western classical music of Western Armenian music. Tigran Chukhajian is one of the founders of Armenian national music, the father of the Armenian opera. Now the musical part, Armenian folk song. The full version of this video is available on Western Armenia's YouTube channel. This was all for today. Goodbye.